Welcome to Did She Really Say That? The podcast for women who are done following the traditional business rules that don't serve us. I am your host, Katrina Van Housden, and in every episode, we break down what it really takes to scale your business as a woman. No burnout, no BS, no apologies. So if you're ready to discover how your natural female intelligence can become your biggest and most authentic advantage, grab your free guide at createherplanner.com/free. Now let's dive into today's episode. Well, welcome back, ladies. I'm excited to have you on our podcast today of Did She Really Say That? Because we are talking about Create Her Reset. And so for my audience that's listening, I'm joined by my business partners, Hillary and Heidi. And yes, I get them confused all the freaking time. I call them each other's names, but that's just how this rolls. They call me each other's names, so we're all good at this point. But let's have a candid conversation, ladies, around this incredible event that's coming up in September called the Create Her Reset. So let's dive into this. Let's the three of us discuss why this came about for us in business and why we feel like it's such a focus and it's such a missing for women in business. Who wants to lead?
Well, well, I mean, obviously for our audience, we really need to know why reset and not retreat. Because
Mhm.
many times I think women, we go on retreats and we're doing all of this work on ourselves, and it feels more like work than actual a rest. Let's be
Well,
frank.
to me, and I'll go back to this. Like, I grew up in a church youth group that it's like, and we always talk. Everybody goes on retreats. To me, retreat is a backwards word. It's you're going backwards. You're retreating from your life. You're retreating from reality. You're retreating from growth, even. And it's always been a word that to me means moving backwards. And even in my church youth groups, why I brought this up, it was like we never had retreats. We always called them advances. It was a place to advance in your growth, advance in your life, advance in every area. And I think for us is like the word reset is kind of like the same thing. It was like we're not retreating, we're not going backwards, we're not retreating from our lives because it's resetting your intentions, resetting what is most important to you. And it's also a remembrance of who you are outside of your daily responsibilities, outside of being the mom, outside of being the spouse, outside of being even the friend, the aunt, the daughter,
The business owner.
the business
The
owner.
persona, yeah.
Yeah, it is a
Mhm.
reset who you are and what your intentions are for not only your business, but your life.
Yeah, definitely. And I think for women, sometimes as we grow and we change roles, it's
Mm-hmm.
very easy for us as women to be like, well, I'm the mom and I'll be the mom for this period. Or there are different types of moms. Recently I was, watching my girls playing with their dolls and they're asking me about the diapers of their dolls, right? They have real diapers. And it dawned on me in that moment that I don't do that anymore. I'm not that mom anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And sometimes we need that moment, that time and space to really ask yourself, okay, who am I? Where am I now in life? Because it changes. And sometimes, as you said, with retreats, you're looking back and you're doing work on
Fix
yourself.
something?
You're trying to fix
Mm.
something. Yes, that's the right word. And resetting isn't about fixing anything. It's about coming back to your place where you are in this moment. And like for me, in that 2 seconds watching my girls play with dolls, it really dawned on me, wait, I'm not the mom that changes diapers anymore. you
Right?
know, but I'm still a mom, but
Mm-hmm.
I'm just not that mom that's mixing formula, changing diapers, changing spit up, washing spit up cloths. And you remember all of that, but that doesn't mean that that's who you are now, right?
Yeah, we don't give ourselves that time to pause and say, okay, I'm evolving as mom. I'm
Mhm,
evolving as a businesswoman. I'm
mhm,
evolving as a wife. I'm evolving as a friend. I'm
Mm-hmm.
evolving. We're always in this state of change as women. And I hear this often when I'm interviewing women for our podcast. I feel like I'm in transition. I feel like I'm in a new chapter. I hear that a lot. And I feel like we're just jumping from one chapter to the next with no
mhm.
like absolute pause in the middle of it to get really grounded back into what is it that you want to create? Who do you want to be inside of all this? What's shifted, changed in your life? And so I remember when we first did this, so we did our first reset last year. And what was interesting about that, when I think I went through like 5 name changes during that time period. So between the time we launched it, I think it went through like at least 5 different name changes. So by the time the ladies got there, they had each enrolled into like a different name, but the same content, right? That's actually where the event gave birth. So one of the things is that when we got all the women there at this event, at this reset, when they said, I want to learn how to do my business, I need you to sit with me to run the technical, I want to talk about this and this, what they were really saying is that I just want to keep moving because I'm afraid to stop.
Yeah.
And so what ended up happening, what really created the foundation of the reset that we have coming up in September and then the next one in 2027, it was the pause that they actually appreciated the most. It was the time to stop, take the shoes off, walk barefoot through the grounds, take a walk through the forest with no phones, no anything else, but there were swings in the forest that we were at. So we played on the swings. We laughed, we giggled, and it was like we weren't capturing, we weren't doing so that we could film it or have images of it for this, event, or so we could like, post it on social. It was really a forced almost detox. And that's where we came up with a lot of what we wanted in our next reset for women, because we recognize that we are so attached to our digital, we don't even know how to step away. We are so attached to our business, we don't know how to put it down. We are so attached to all the identities that have been put on us that we don't even know who our true self is underneath it all.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
so what came up from that one was that they really liked the areas of where there was breath work. There was times to get back into their body, just be intentional about what they were doing. They loved the sound therapy. We were in a cool space that was a geodome, so the sound effects or the sound quality was awesome. And so when we looked at where was areas that we could recreate or create newly different female sacred ceremonies or activities that realigned the woman. One of them that we came up with, this is why it's happening in El Salvador in September, was there's a Tazmakal. And it's actually called the Mother Womb ceremony. It's talking about getting back into the womb of Mother Earth, setting your intention, getting really like letting yourself just be in the moment, be in the silence, be with yourself, go through the process. And then there's like a rebirth through water, awaken you to who you choose to be.
Yeah.
And I think that for me was like, that's what we've often forgotten as women. Like we feel called to these things, and yet we feel like it's out of our reach. We don't feel like we can take the time off to do it. We've got so many other things because we don't prioritize rest.
yes.
That's what came up for me. What were you thinking here, Heidi? I could hear your
No, it's like, oh, it is the prioritizing of rest. And I think also the word, I keep going back to this word reset. And, we always talk about in business about having your why, your real intention of why you're doing this. Because to be honest, entrepreneurship is not the easiest thing to do. It's much easier to go clock in and clock out and leave your work at home and leave your work at the business. But when you're an entrepreneur, it's like you always there's a deeper reason why you do it. And I think oftentimes it's like that reason changes. And I think it's like, so it's like when you say it's like a reset, it's not like you're going back and digging down. It's like, what was the original reason why I started this business? But really it's like acknowledging where you are now in the present, not where you were in the past, but looking at where you are now and where you want to go in the future, and go when you get back, and to what is your current intention for your business and for your life. And it's like sometimes we have to not retreat from our lives, but take a step out of our lives to see that.
Yeah. And I think that's that's the big difference, because retreat tends to have this feeling of you're running away from.
Yeah.
What reset does, and what I've seen, because one of the things that we're going to be doing unstructured time, and you were talking about how as business owners, especially as women, we feel we have to be on the go, go, go. recently I was reading something about homeschooling. So both Heidi's a different homeschool mom. She's a retired homeschool mom. And I'm the going through homeschool mom. And one of the things that they talk about that you must give your children is unstructured time.
Mm,
And I thought about that from a female business standpoint as well. You do need unstructured time where there is nothing that you're told to do at this specific time so that
mm-hmm.
you can just think.
Mm.
And sometimes even on retreats, the retreats that I've been on, they're spiritual retreats, but there are a few, I'd say hours, maybe a couple hours where you can do what you want, but everything is still scheduled. And
Yeah.
business retreats in particular, a lot of women who've probably been on business retreats, every minute of the day has an agenda and it's structured. And I think it's important for us to have that unstructured time, true unstructured time where you could go wander on the beach, walk through the forest, and just be,
And just
just be.
wow. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And that's the intention of that, because what I found when we were doing our last event is that that was actually their most productive time, when they could reflect back on what they're doing, on the activities or the intentional moments that we created. Because it's not about, you like you said, it's always doing. I've been in mastermind after mastermind where it felt like every minute was something to do. That unstructured time, that hour, felt like it was rushed because I had to get back, or I had to be in the room, or I was going to get locked out of the room. So, like, it always felt like while it was unstructured, it was still structured. Like, I could only do so much in it.
Mm.
Mhm.
Right. And so when we were working with women through the reset, that time where they could just grab their journal and head out and capture their thoughts, right? If we had a welcome ceremony and a conversation came up and they had to think about like that, triggered something, or that helped them clarify something, they were just writing, and they were playing, and they were doing things, and they were creating little groups, and they were getting to know each other better. That's what I wanted for women to do. That was the unstructured time. That was the allowance for a reset. I've even contemplated names like the CreatHER lean in, but the lean in to me still sounds like there's work to be done,
To be done. Yes,
right?
it does.
And
Yeah.
that is the opposite of what we actually experience as women, because I often hear, and I don't know if you ladies hear this too, I don't have time to think.
Mm-hmm.
Well, when else are you going to schedule time to think than take a reset so that you have that time to like completely just be in the moment and just be surrounded by 12 women? That's the other piece about this. Like, it's just limited to 12 women. We don't want this to, I'm not in this to make, the money. I'm not after this to create like 50,000 people there. That's not the intentions of resets. The reset is 12 women that raised their hand and said, this is what I would like. This is what I desire in my life. And I want to be with women who get this also. So it's not like I'm trying to corral people to coming into this. I want you to feel the invitation to step into, breathing again, playing on the beach, checking out. I mean, El Salvador, for this event that we're talking about, is a beautiful, lush location, grounded in transformation, giving you the space to be in a different culture. And the other thing I know that was really important for you, Heidi, if you want to talk about this, was giving back to the community. That was real. Like, not only do we want women there to be unstructured, but we want you engaged in what I know pulls a lot of women forward,
Yeah.
which is I want to give back. I want to do more. So that
Mhm.
was something that when we looked at what do we want to bring in and where are the locations that we're choosing that incorporate this as a natural extension of, as we serve as women, we serve ourselves and we serve others.
Yeah, and I
Yes.
think also when you do international travel, it's important to understand the culture that you're visiting, to not necessarily just because it stretches you in a way that you're not going to get stretched sitting in the United States. It's an exposure. People who think differently, behave differently, eat differently, go to like, do have like, school activities differently.
Culturally different.
It's culturally different, and there's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing better or worse about it. It's just different. And seeing that difference and seeing people flourish in that difference is, I don't know, for me, it's always adds to my life, adds to growth in different ways because you experience something outside of your norm, outside of what you consider normal or whatever, but it's just, it's always I think engaging in the local culture and also giving back, serving them in their culture, not bringing just what Americans do because this is what Americans expect, but actually being in their culture and helping them within their culture. And I was just like, and I think when you can do that, and I think especially for female entrepreneurs, I work with women on creating the profit in their business, realizing more profit from their revenue. But the thing about with women, it's like, it's not always just about creating this massive profit. It's always about what am I doing with this money? How is this money impacting my family, impacting my life, impacting those around me? And I think it's like, for female entrepreneurs, it's more about the impact that we do with our money than just creating the money. And so if we can go somewhere to another country and actually leave a positive footprint behind us, that's meaningful to me.
And to add to that, what's really interesting is that when we were talking with the community coordinator on the ground in El Salvador, there were kind of two things that stood out. There actually is a women's support group, like helping these women build businesses, support them. What greater place is a female entrepreneur that has access to so many resources to then step down there and just be able to share that, right? Not in like you need all this technology, but what's been your experience around building your business? What are some of the things that you've bumped up against? And giving that gift to another woman that could elevate her life in another country. I think that's the generational, that's the passing on of the female wisdom that's there. And there's also the ability to give back to the schools. There's ways to bring things.
Oh, I wanted to say something.
Yeah, go ahead, say this.
I wanted to say something. Okay. One of my favorite things about creating retreats, I mean, there's a lot. Resets, creating these resets is I love one of my love languages is giving gifts. I mean, it's not my top, but it's one of my favorite. And I love giving, like, whenever you go to retreats, resets, when you ever go away with a lot of women, we always do gift bags, right? We always like little treats on our beds. We like little treats. Well, part of this giving back to the community is also supporting things that they do. So the place that we're going to, they actually curate. I mean, you can pick and choose what you want in it, but it's all stuff that's made locally. It's all by the local artists. Part of it's even by the children, and it's all these different. So you get something that's uniquely El Salvador. So I was excited about that.
She can't help herself. I'm excited because that's what I want. We want to immerse you in the culture, in the environment, and we want to get you away from the hustle and bustle of what it is to be in the United States. Because I think even you can talk to that. Hillary was like, you transitioned from Trinidad and Tobago to here, and I'm sure it was like from going through that experience to coming here. It's like, and we'll talk about that on another episode. So we want to focus.
Yeah.
On reset. So what other questions do you have for us, Heather? Because I feel like you're now kind of like leading this charge here.
No, well, I think, honestly, I think we've covered quite a bit. But one of the things, the why do women need this? I don't know if we touched on that in its entirety. Why women? Because I'm not saying that men don't need rest or men don't need a reset, but what is it about maybe our own makeup that requires this rest?
For me, it comes back down to the female intelligence cycle. It's something that we've built the CreatHER method around, and this is it's part of that methodology, part of the CreatHER methodology is intentional, planned rest, not as an afterthought, and it's not a vacation. I tell women all the time, I said, but I'm planning a vacation. I said, no, a vacation still means that you're running the show. You're probably still telling the kids where to go. You still have to pack. You're still trying to do everything. That's not meant for you.
That was the question that I wanted. Like, I wanted you to come up with, like, is this vacation? Like, how many women would look at this like, oh, this is my vacation that I'm going to plan? No, it's not.
Yeah,
right? Yeah.
it's not a vacation because a vacation still requires a lot of planning. What we bring to this intentionally is that all you have to worry about is getting on the freaking plane.
Yes,
Seriously. I
yes.
just you've got to
So
commit to getting on a plane and everything else after that you don't have to think about.
one of the things that, with reset that I love is that most people, when they go on vacation, when they come back, they say they need a vacation from
From
their
vacation.
vacation, right? That is not the intention of reset. The intention of
No.
reset is to really rest, come back to yourself, come back to who you are. No work involved.
Yeah. Come back to
And
yourself spiritually, come back to yourself mentally, come back to yourself physically. There is a spa on site that we are going to gift women with an opportunity to get a spa treatment there. There is the opportunity to go and complimentary horseback ride for those that want to get on a horse and run through this, through the beach on the back of a horse. So there's things you can intentionally create, or it can be just where you allow yourself to relax and feel again and
Hmm.
not worry about what's going on at home. Um, that that's it's hard. And this is, I think, one of the things with women is that we are so committed to everybody else's success and livelihood that our biggest detriment is ourself.
so,
So the goal of this, or the intention of reset, is that you're coming down, you're nurtured and taken care of by women in an environment designed for women, around activities designed for women. Like, it is not to do more. It is to literally stop
And reset.
and reset in a way that allows you to get back on that plane and go, this is how I want this opens up the doors for new conversations. Now I'm intentional about what I want to do next. I got some clarity on what I'm really designing. I have a new pathway forward that I never saw before because I never had the time to sit down and really look at what I was creating in my life. And so the creator reset it's intentional. And here's what I found with women is that we are afraid to spend money on ourselves. We'll spend money on everybody else, right? But we won't
Mhm.
spend the money on ourselves to invest in our own self time without it having to be productive or an outcome driven.
Right.
So, and it is. It's like it's got to have an outcome or I don't feel like I can spend the money. The thing is, you spend money on your makeup, you spend money on all of these other things as women, right? And I'm asking, and the invite is to invest in your self-care, invest in your create her brain, mind, spirit, body, be surrounded by women with no agenda other than to experience this reset as women. So it's grounded in female ceremonies. There's like three things that are anchored into this event. There are little activities that create the intention and open doors for conversations. And then it's unstructured time and then bonding with women. And I will tell you this, no matter how this goes, the ebb and flow goes, I promise you something will be resolved, something will be fixed, something will come up, some new intention will be created, and it's not forced. It's not a designated outcome of this. It will be a natural rising of this conversation from yourself without it being forced, pushed, or dragged out of you through tears and whatever else is, the traditional mastermind or business
Hmm.
retreat or something. This
Yeah.
is the natural expression of who you truly are authentically through a reset that is to hold you. It's the container to hold and support you. And so I invite women to say, yes, I'm worth the investment. And to be honest, 6 days, 5 nights, food included, airport transportation, all you got to do is show up with your bag, probably a bikini or a bathing suit or whatever you want to wear, whatever you're comfortable in. I don't care, right? And just don't have any expectations. There's no need to dress up to be formal. It's like if you want to wear sweatpants and shorts or whatever, like we don't care. Like there's no expectation of you looking a certain way. You could leave the makeup bag behind, right? Like whatever. Or maybe not. I probably want to bring like lipstick or something. Um, but the idea is
Bring
just
sparkles. Bring
sparkles,
sparkles.
something. But the idea is that most authentic self show up when you're ready. There's no like you have to be up at 7 a.m. We're doing this, this, and this. Yes, the breakfast is available during this time. Yes, we're going to have activity at this time. Yes, we're creating this intention. But it's also what I found is that in the conversation on day one, the intentions of the conversations we'll have throughout that week. So it is the women that come together, these 12 extraordinary women that come together, that create the intention of what they want this weekend to be like, grounded through these three foundational elements that we say this is what holds the core and the value of reset. Anything else to add?
Awesome.
Oh, I think this is a wrap. That was
Yeah.
really good.
Yeah. So the invite is simple. We do have, if you come to our website, truthbombmarketing.com is the website. And on there is the Create Her Reset. You'll find that information in the show notes. There'll be a link down there. I invite you to explore. The invitation is there. Once we have our 12 women, the door closes, and the next one won't be until March the following year. We're only doing this twice a year, and it's very intentional. It's around the equinox. So, that is really important to us right now. At the time of this recording, shockingly enough, it is the spring equinox, or it is. And so there's a lot of good energy. There's a lot of things around feminine energy that happen around this time. So we do that again in the fall, which is why we're doing this in September, because we want to hold sacred that energy and that environment for women. So we're doing this biannually. There'll be one in March. There's the one in September. The one that we're talking about is the one in El Salvador. The one in March of next year is in a different location. You're more than welcome to peruse the website to find out what that looks like. But the invitation is open for you to come and really experience what it is to reset and be with women that are at the level you're at or wanting to be at even. Or you have been at. That was one of the questions I got asked before. There's a lot of times we as women, we've made significant money, we've lost significant money, but we know how to make it. Is this an invite for them to attend? And the answer is yes. If at any point you've had that high achieving, but feel like you're moving backwards, this is the invite to come in and reset to create your new intentions moving forward. So yeah, that's who this is for. With that, I want to say thank you for joining me, Hillary and Heidi, on Did She Really Say That, and having this conversation, because I'm excited to be going to El Salvador. It's treetop housing. Like, every woman has their own room in a treetop. Like, we're in the jungle, we're in the trees, we have your own room, you get good food every day. I mean, come on. I got a beach on one side and a jungle on the other. Like, come on and play. Seriously.
Come on and play.
Come on
Come
and play.
on and play.
All right. So thank you for everyone that's listening. If you felt like this episode resonated with you, and or a woman you're thinking, man, that would be really good for her, I think of a woman like that, share this out. Because it is in our sharing and educating of women around what's out there that we all make a difference. We're in collaboration, not competition as women. So thank you so much for listening in, ladies. I appreciate all my listeners that are here. And, continue to listen, continue to plug in, and definitely leave a review. We love hearing from you, love hearing your comments. And so what would you like to do? Would you be open? I guess the question I have for you in the comments is, would you be open to joining us at Reset, at Creator Reset, and experiencing for yourself that sacred pause that's so important for us women? With that, we'll see you and listen to you on the next episode. If today's conversation hit home, don't just listen, take the next step. Download the free Create Her Authentically guide at createherplanner.com/free and discover how to build your business in alignment with your natural rhythm. And if you love this episode, please leave a review. It helps more women find the show. I'll see you in the next episode.